What'd you guys think of it, though?
It would have been cool if it was night golf.
I wish they brought him more heat. I thought the outfits were kind of tame. Like I thought they were like, I thought they could have really brought some fire for the first couple outfits.
First and foremost, it was get out of the winter.
Let's be real. Let's be honest.
Done.
Yo.
All right. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Where are we right now?
We are in Florida, Orlando.
Florida, Orlando.
What?
Or Orlando, Florida.
What did you just say?
I'm cutting that out for sure.
No, that ain't getting cut out.
Florida, Orlando.
We're in Florida, Orlando, Ontario. So we're down in Orlando. What are we here for, boys?
So this is our first as a team PGA show. It's the biggest PGA show that they have every year. I remember when we met with one of the head covers, Daphne's, who she created the Tiger head cover, the infamous Tiger Frank head cover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's been at the show for 30 years. That's what her son said. So
wow.
It obviously probably looks a lot different now, but it was massive.
The activations were crazy.
Yeah.
Like talking about the simulators, like all the big guys are there. Obviously with Pace Play, we have a pretty deep connection to that indoor tech space. But like Jay said, like the amount of people there, I was kind of shocked by.
Yeah, totally.
And then just seeing the, I don't know, after the pandemic.
Yeah.
With all the hype that came with golf, it's kind of cool in a way to see that it hasn't phased out.
Yeah.
And in particular, like we saw a lot of buying activity over the last couple of days, and I think that's a good sign for like where the game is at. And like I'll let you guys talk about like some of the favorite like brands or activations that you guys saw, but it was cool to see some of the newer brands there, the Malbons of the world, the Eastsides of the world. I think that is just kind of like further proof that everything we do and talk about in terms of Golfheadz is kind of coming to fruition in a really real way at big events like this.
Yeah, it's cool. Like a lot of booths had like good vibes, music playing.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like cool setups. We actually missed J.R. Smith. He was out there today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool.
That would have been cool to run into him. Rory took a picture with him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Rory's a cool guy. Shout out to Rory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know what you guys first liked about the show. Like, what was the top thing, and then what you guys didn't like about it.
Honestly, like for me, I love seeing all the new accessories and the new tech. But what stood out to me, honestly, the biggest, like the thing that resonated with me probably the most was that Toomey golf bag. That shit was fire.
That was
the beige and the cream with the gold trim. I thought it just looked tight.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like, for me it was the tech. So like, again, going back to Pace of Play, selfishly, like I'm sitting there and looking at ways that we can monetize that place a little bit further as we grow the business and as we look at expansion and like what we could bring into the space. Stuff like the was it Putt Zone or Putt
View
with
the goggles.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I think like there's a huge opportunity to bring that into our space and integrate that further and like that little text piece a little bit deeper. I think we cover a lot of it with the TrackMan, but it'd be cool to integrate with something like that. Would be such a cool user experience for our members.
Yeah, like for me as a creator, it's funny, right? You guys are owners of Pace. You guys are owner of Golfheadz, and I'm a creator. You know, and I was looking forward to seeing different influencers. Like that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
You know, Caden being one of them.
Yeah.
Shout out Caden, what up? Even like there are random people that I did see, not random, but like people that I saw on YouTube. It was very familiar. Not that I knew their name, but I recognized who they were and their presence. So that's kind of what I liked, and I was very shocked. Like this was my first time going. And the fact that there were so many different brands, different tech, I was just blown away.
How about you, Jay? Highlights?
Because I came to the show in 2019, but like solo, just to get a feel for it, and This one did feel bigger.
Yeah.
Just the amount of people that were there. It was weird kind of seeing some brands kind of scale back. Like G4 wasn't there, right?
I don't think they definitely didn't have a standalone.
Yeah, like they had a crazy setup when I went in 2019. Travis Matthew, which I guess they got acquired, but
TaylorMade wasn't there.
TaylorMade wasn't there. Yeah, all these new brands, like, you know, ones from Asia, kind of coming over, trying to make a splash in the U.S. market.
Yeah.
And kind of the style out there is a little more out there. So
Yeah.
I was kind of I was curious to see kind of what that looked like.
Shout out to Anew, which Jay, you mentioned to me, like they've been around for a bit, but
Yeah.
like their aesthetic, I thought was like the vibe that they had created there was pretty good, and they were playing great music the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
Yo,
it was a
and,
plus.
and music is big for us.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
We follow the good music, we follow the good vibes,
Yeah.
and that's what we also bring to Pace.
yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think the best part was the fact that, like, honestly, this might sound a little cheesy, but like you guys were there.
Yeah.
And we kind of like worked as a team, and the fact that we have like or some connections already built there.
Yeah.
We have like the tech opportunities. Like as soon as we told some of these simulators we have a indoor sim, they were like, "Oh, really? Like, yeah, come try our technology."
Yeah.
And then Josh, like you came in clutch coming in because now we have something to like talk to brands about. Like we're executing on.
Exactly.
On some of our own content. So
Right.
so it was a different kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And with that said, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is where the conversation is going. What was our main purpose of going? What was our main purpose of being at the show?
Yeah, honestly, so for me, like I think face to face is so important with like a lot of our brand partners that we end up having a lot of conversations, obviously through IG a lot, but I think
Yeah.
through emails, whatever, right? Like that face to face business development opportunity, you kind of miss that, and I feel like we really missed that over COVID.
Right.
So having this like opportunity to meet people for the first time that you've been talking to for a long time, I thought that was like both super important from like that business relationship standpoint,
Right,
but
right,
just cool to put a face to a name after such a long time.
Yeah.
Shout out to guys like Max at Shrixon and Nike Golf. Like, they've been really great collaborators, feeding us really good content opportunities, and to be able to like meet them and just have that face to face, one to one is
sure.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like first and foremost, it was to get out of the winter. And,
Let's be real. Let's be
and
honest.
golf. The reason to golf.
I can't answer
But
that.
honestly, also like if we didn't go, I feel like we would have regretted it because it's just such a big industry show. It's like the main one happens once a year,
Right.
and it's only 3 hours away, 3-hour flight. We got lucky with the stay.
Yeah, that's another shout out. Shout out
to
Al. Yeah.
Thanks for getting the hot tub.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Yo,
use it.
Al, you need some laundry detergent?
Some salt and pepper.
Some paper towels?
Paper towels.
Or I'm just joking.
Maybe some food for us. To
No, but this was a huge hookup.
So to wrap up though, the PGA Show part of the convo.
Yeah.
You mentioned lowlights.
Yeah.
What were some of the lowlights of the trip, the show?
I had one, but I forgot. Let me come back to that.
Yeah.
Low lights. I mean, why don't you talk about it, and then we'll think about
Okay, I'll bring one up.
sure.
Yeah.
I didn't like how some booths were appointment only.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
true.
like
Yeah.
we wanted to go to some of these bigger brands and honestly just to check things out, but they had like a list that you couldn't even go in. So we're like, okay, well, like I don't know, it's just puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I get the purpose of the show is for them to close deals and whatnot, but I mean you're having like thousands of people come to this event. Not all of them are looking to buy stuff, or like your target demographic. So like it's an opportunity for them to even just create new fans of their brand and
Totally.
and a lot of their stuff is like coming soon and
Yeah.
but otherwise it was good. There's just so much too though.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot to
almost
consume.
became a negative. We're like we had to go to one side
Yeah.
and then walk across, and then we're like, oh, we missed this booth. It was like a maze. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, the mapping
really
and
was.
stuff, it could have been better for that, like, just directionally, like, it wasn't, in
Yeah.
that sense, it didn't feel overly organized, the way even some of the boots were kind of aligned and set up.
Yeah. I mean, a low light for me, and it's not really that low, is like, it was hard to get coffee.
Yeah.
And like,
You guys should have got iced coffee in the morning. We would have saved like 30 minutes.
At
Totally.
least,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like, you know, obviously, again, like, it was my first time there, and I'm such like I don't know, like a forward, you know, very optimistic. It's hard for me to like dwell on the bad. Not that, but like you pointed out something that was like a flaw, right? Like that was great. But to me, like, it was pretty smooth. Like even the map on your phone, the app was very intuitive. If you wanted to, if you had a certain brand that you wanted to go to, you just look it up and you're going there. You know, that's kind of my take.
Yeah. For me, Jay nailed it. That was my exact one. There's a certain brand, I won't name them, but Steph Curry, go talk to your boys. Because the appointment only thing, like, yeah, I totally agree with what you said. That sentiment's dead on. Like, you're a consumer brand. Like, whether or not you're actually selling the pieces to me specifically, or you're selling it to our audience, like, there's a huge opportunity there.
Yeah.
And brands like Under Armour are brands that I personally really wanted to go check out.
Yeah.
Brands like Callaway, that was another one I think that was kind of closed off. Not to shout them out in a negative way. Like,
Right.
they come to these things with their clear objectives, and again, as business people, I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
100%.
Because there's another side to it, right? Like, yeah.
Totally, right? And they have their mandate, their objectives out of that. But like, to me, like you said, like, some of these brands are launching new lines, new collections. I thought Puma did an amazing job of that, where they had a mix of both. They had their sit-down meeting areas and all of that, but they had an interactive space where we could go touch and feel the products, see the shoes, the new ones that they dropped. And so I thought that was cool. I thought Malbon did a good job of that as well, where it felt like a showroom or almost like a retail store
Yeah.
in the middle of a convention center.
Yeah.
It's not easy to pull off. Like, that's good execution, and I think really, really great design.
Yeah.
And then that's you nailed it. That was the one for me.
Yeah. I'd also say one thing about like what I noticed on the apparel side
Yeah.
was that there are a lot of similar brands, like very kind of following the same playbook, which I actually heard someone walk by just kind of like sighing, be like, oh, all these brands look the same. And it's true. Like it's there weren't a lot of variations in terms of kind of the printed polos and stuff like that. So it would have been nice to see people kind of, you know, go outside the box a bit more and differentiate themselves.
Yeah.
I noticed that quite a bit, but you know. Okay, let's go to the golf.
So that was going to
The
be my
main
transition.
reason why we came.
So, I guess other than being in a simulator, you know, having a 180 screen, it could even be a 360 screen. It's not going to be the real thing. So, we're going out to play.
Yeah,
That's kind of one of the first things that we did when we arrived here.
Yeah.
Right? Jay, you know, shout out, thank you for booking that round at is it Orange
County. So that wasn't me though. That was
Orange Lakes. We played Orange Lakes.
Sorry, Orange. Oh, the 9-hole.
Yeah.
The night golf.
Night golf.
The night golf. The night golf.
The night golf we didn't see at night.
Yeah.
No. But
That was my fault.
what'd you guys think of it though?
It would have been cool if it was night golf. So I went on the website. They had an option that said night golf, so I clicked into it. Just took me to the booking system,
Yeah.
and then I picked 5 p.m.
Yeah.
thinking that all those time slots were going to be night golf, and then I realized I'm like, it doesn't even get dark till 6. So I mean, the course itself, it's a par 3.
Yeah.
Nothing was longer than 170, right?
Maybe
No,
they were far. It was like
They were
200.
yeah, they're long ones.
Yeah.
Oh, there were a few long
Yeah.
ones. But the greens were tiny. Like it almost didn't feel playable.
Yeah.
Because it was so tight.
I mean, a couple of those ones, you're shooting 200 yards, and to stick it on greens that small.
That small.
with a bunker in front of it.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to do that?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good warm-up. like a good warm up round. First time swinging this year, or
Outside.
really since we packed it in for the winter.
Yeah.
Outdoors, and so to hit out of the bunkers a couple times, that was really important. That helped me over at Orange County.
Yeah.
And so just getting a bit of a feel, I thought it was good, and just seeing the ball flight, like seeing your ball leave your club in real life.
Yeah.
There's a couple of moments there and I thought, and we'll get into the next round, but there's a couple of times where I just seen the ball leave your club. It was kind of nice to see it outdoors.
Yeah, for sure.
As
different.
opposed to just smashing into the screen for like the last 1,000 swings.
Yeah. And just to give, so what were we playing for?
That one we didn't really. Well, they didn't really have merchandise, so
No.
But we
matter.
did get something. My guy, you got us
you got
some ball
I got
markers.
the Malbon marker, yeah.
That was nice.
I
Nice
gotta
little
find that.
souvenir.
I don't know where it is. Yeah, but honestly, I think us three, it'd be competitive. Like you hit the driver pretty damn far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hit your irons good as well.
Yeah.
But your putting needs some work.
100%.
And then you like to do like some weird flop shots, like just at the wrong times.
I know.
Which just add up strokes.
Yeah.
So
They look nice.
I think he has the
That's
most
it.
potential to shave strokes.
Yeah.
Cause like, yeah, not to hate, but but yeah, I think we're all pretty close. Like, I think anyone could take it, but
That round you won, but it was really close, right? It was
on the that one was kind of tight. Like,
Yeah.
if we do an actual stroke play, I think I actually lost.
Oh. I don't know what the score was.
Everything was within a stroke.
Yeah.
Even the second round.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the second round was
Orange County.
Orange County.
Or
County.
Orange County
County.
National. Is that
National. Yeah, they hosted the live tour there.
Yeah, the Crooked Cut was
Crooked Cat.
Crooked Cat.
Yeah.
Crooked Cut.
Shout out Kepka. I think he won that tournament.
Did he?
Yeah.
Shout out to Gerard and Gwen,
Yeah.
our play partners.
Gerard runs Ateneo. How do you say it?
I don't. Why you
You're
look at me?
Filipino.
So?
It's a Filipino term. He gave me
Ateneo.
a full definition.
Actually?
It's
Yeah.
Ateneo.
That was pretty
That
good.
sounds Italian. What do you?
Ateneo.
That's Italian.
No, you're making it seem Italian now.
You sound Italian. But yeah, cool streetwear golf brand. He started up a couple of years ago. Sent me some stuff. Cool dude.
Yeah.
He's been going for a couple of years now, so it's good to see like brands kind of stick to it and build an audience, which is cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that he met up with us, man. Like it's such a
first
community,
Yeah,
right? Like you're the only one that's kind of been in contact with him, and the fact that he showed up, he hooked us up too, right? Like he got us a good rate for
yeah, he did.
kind of.
Florida
resident rate.
resident. So it was awesome to see. It was awesome to be a part of. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So about the golf.
So yeah, what'd you guys think of that course?
I loved it, personally. I loved it.
Loved it.
I loved it.
Loved it?
Bro, like, I mean, for me, the reason why I loved it,
He's comparing it to Peel Village, like at the 12th hole.
it's actually 9. Buddy, I'm used to, yeah, you're right. I'm used to playing Peel Village. I didn't lose a ball, and I that's because of the course. It's pretty wide open. It's pretty friendly.
You started off hot. You were on fire.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I had 3 pars.
3 pars.
In a row. Then I got 3 doubles.
Triple double.
Yeah.
Triple double.
But yeah, I would play that again over and over, to be honest. Like, that's my personal opinion. I love the different, levels. I like that it was hilly, and a lot of different caliber golfers can play it and still have fun.
Yeah, in that sense, I thought it was really playable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, I just found a few of the holes felt really similar to each other. There's a lot of just get a good drive, and then if you have a great drive, you have a short iron into an elevated tee or elevated green, and if you had a shitty drive, then you're just looking at you really have to have a 200-yard shot in your bag. And I thought that was important yesterday, especially because I personally I couldn't really get the driver going into the last few holes, and so you kind of needed those longer irons working really early. Again, probably a good thing for us to just get those swings in this early in the season, but I thought that was my biggest challenge was like when the driver wasn't on. Looking at an uphill shot of 200 yards is kind of daunting when you haven't really taken that swing in a while.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a playable course, pretty flat until you get to the green.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they said it's a live golf venue.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't blow me away. Well, one thing is there's no views. Like, there's
No.
very little trees almost, and it's pretty wide open. And like you said, it always felt like, okay, driver off the tee and then try to hit it close. There was never like no decision making of like where to aim. It was just kind of straight down the middle for the most part. There were a few holes.
Yeah.
A couple holes.
There's a couple.
12 was an interesting one. The one where you and I went into the left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We had decent recoveries on that one, but we were over to the left.
Right.
The ninth hole was a tricky one.
Yeah. Same with 10, right? Of the dog leg left. A lot of us went to the right.
But all the par fives were gettable.
100%. Yeah.
Like they didn't really kind of scare me at all.
No. I mean, but you were also playing, like your drive and your 3-woods were pretty spot on.
It was working, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like you were getting distance, you were hitting fairways.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, in comparison to Toronto, like it would be a course I'd play a lot. I feel like.
Yeah. If it's accessible, like to me, it's the same thing about the live, like that part of it is that like if you're putting it at that caliber of course,
I see.
I didn't really feel it was like up there.
Right.
I think Jay made a good point. The views was, I think, something that like maybe that's where the similarity felt like with every hole.
Gotcha.
This is just like very similar layouts, very similar like penalty areas, like sideway bunkers on both sides of the fairways, like the tree. I told you guys those 4 trees that like somehow lined every left side of the fairway.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like you're in Orlando, right, or Florida.
Yeah.
Right. There's no like Florida.
Like palm trees.
Yeah, I think
Like
yeah.
that's a good point. That could have been at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good point. Yeah.
I see.
But like when you play in Hawaii, like you know you're in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You feel it.
If you play in BC, like
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
There's mountains.
Mountains, even like Muskoka in Canada, like
For
sure.
you feel like you're in Muskoka.
Yeah. So I think like even tomorrow, tomorrow, it's definitely gonna feel like an Orlando course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't played it.
Well, we're starting with Grand Vista. It's a 9-hole course, and then I think so. We're playing that at 7:25 a.m. and then we're gonna boot over to Disney Magnolia, which again I think is gonna feel like an Orlando course. There's a lot of palm trees. I'm excited for you guys to play it. I played it last year, so it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. You guys looking forward to it? What's expectations?
Yeah, it kind of just happened naturally, but the way we built up the golf,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we started with a pretty easy 9, then Orange County was a good like step up from that.
Yeah.
And like a full 18.
Full 18.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
The fact that we have a 9-hole warm up is kind of amazing.
and it's a nice 9-hole warm up.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me get back to Cookie Cat. Let's just do ratings out of 10. Start with Orange Lakes. What would you guys give that out of 10?
I feel like my rating would be unfair because we didn't actually get to experience the night golf aspect of it. But honestly, guys, if I'm talking about just the golf, I give it that's a 5 out of 10. I didn't see anything wrong with it other than like the minuscule greens.
Yeah.
But like you kind of expect a challenge like that when you're playing a par 3 course. So I don't even mind that. Like I can get around that. I thought the greens weren't in amazing shape.
No.
Maintenance-wise, it was okay. At least the tee boxes were in good shape, that kind of thing. But I can only give it a 5 because we didn't actually get, I think, the real experience on a course like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with the lights on, the greens probably feel a lot bigger or like feel like a bit more of a target zone.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Jay, what about you?
I'd recommend it, but I'm a little biased because I forget how much it was. It was maybe like $27 or $30, which in US it's nothing, but with us being Canadian, like that's like a $50 round to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have higher expectations, but like relative to everything here, I think it's a great value and definitely worth. If you can book the night golf early, I'm sure it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
A lot of people at the show actually went there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mike Forbes had a
a little event there. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't even really want to rate it, to be honest. It's just, it didn't feel like a full golf experience. It's a 9-hole.
Yeah. So you don't even count it.
I can't compare it
Did
to
not rate.
I can't compare it to an 18-hole.
No, you're not.
So then what is my scale on?
It's
What do you mean?
It's your scale.
Yeah.
It's just what you feel out of 10.
Like how was the 9 holes that you played?
Emotionally, mentally, but really about the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like a 3?
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm gonna say a 4.3. 4.3.
4. You got technical.
No.
And then thing we're like doing like
Yeah.
figure skating ratings.
Yes, yeah, you can't. You gotta do
A solid.
specific. No, you gotta do specific scores. You did it the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Sorry, mine was 5.0. To clarify.
Okay, then moving on. Oh,
Okay, yeah. Let's go. Let's move up.
okay, moving on.
Crooked Cat.
Orange County, rate out of 10. Crooked Cat, give it to me. Just give me a number.
I'll give it a 7.0.
7.0.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7. Nah, 6.9.
All right, I'm giving it an 8.5. 8.5.
Wow, really?
I've
Peel
expressed
Village.
my love. Yeah, shout out Peel Village. I don't know why.
So, okay, so then when you play Cabot Citrus Farm, that's gonna be like a 13.
High expectations.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like yeah, you just gotta adjust your scale. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, once I get exposed to these amazing courses that you guys play all the time, then
Dude, we have Pebble Beach on the sim, man. Just play.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, cool. So I guess we kind of touched on Grand Vista. We kind of touched on Magnolia. I don't know. Do you guys want to expand on that, or do you want to move on? Like,
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk
right,
about. I don't know what's going on in like the golf industry. Let's talk about that.
the golf industry.
Although we haven't talked about the Tiger. Let's just talk about golf. What does golf mean to you? No. Let's talk about. No, sorry, I meant specific.
It's like it was almost like an existential question.
Okay.
Oh shit.
No, sorry, I meant.
Okay.
I was okay. So
Sorry.
the golf world. There's a lot going on this past month.
Okay.
We have Jason Day doing the whole Malbon golf. People have talked about it, but we haven't really talked about it. I
Yeah.
don't think.
No, we haven't.
There's that. There's the whole Nike golf situation, which we don't have to go deep into, but where do you guys think they're going? Just because we have an idea.
Yeah.
And then Tiger's new deal with TaylorMade, potentially. I mean, it's pretty clear it is, but
Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, I love Jason Day for doing that. I think it opened doors for a lot of golf brands to expand, to leverage different athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's amazing. What I think it's gonna do is, for me as a retired athlete is man, why not go after the dream still? If you want to take golf seriously, you can create your own brand and become legit. If Golfheadz it is a brand, but imagine we sponsor different athletes. I think that's fucking awesome, and it's funny because there's a lot of people sort of hating on it too, right? He's wearing baggy clothes, which is so untraditional for golf. And that's why I also love it. They're shaking up golf. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I honestly wish they brought him more heat. I thought the outfits were kind of tame. I thought they were I thought they could have really brought some fire for the first couple outfits. Some of the stuff I saw at the show, a couple pieces I pointed out were the materials, the design, to me, that was a bit more innovative and like more of like that Malbon style that I'd like to see, like Jason kind of bring that into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like, I love that. There's a saying that I love, which is like building extraordinary experiences in ordinary places.
Cool.
And this is like, to me, he's doing something extraordinary in an ordinary place, which is like, he's bringing a vibe to golf that, like you said, the baggy pants thing hasn't really been seen like that before.
Right.
But yeah, to me, it was just, honestly, if we're being real about it, like I thought the designs were kind of soft. Like I thought they could have pulled out, just some
Harder shit.
cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like they've got such a big catalog of design. Also wanted to say, you mentioned something interesting about this crossover happening, and I think Lulu is another example, and we kind of talked about it earlier, but like them entering the space, I think is actually a pretty big deal, and I think this is going to be that progression to more of these brands. You know, Ralph Lauren had a presence at the show this week. You're seeing a couple of these brands that are typically, Spanx was another example, like that are typically mainstream apparel brands, not golf associated at all.
No.
And are making a pretty seamless transition into the sport, and it doesn't feel forced.
No.
Like we saw the Lulu stuff today. I thought they could have done a better job with their display.
Right.
Like it was a retail rack, but
Could have made a bigger splash.
yeah, because the products looked really amazing. Like I thought the designs were done well. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like, okay, first of all, I do like Malbon, and we saw their stuff. It looks awesome. And it definitely fits their brand and kind of the people behind it. There's just like a natural connection there. With Jason Day, just kind of knowing of him and his history, I just feel like there's a disconnect somewhere. Like when I look at brands and golf players, typically I see the brand designing for the player as opposed to vice versa. No, sorry. Yeah, for the player.
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, Ricky, like a lot of the Puma stuff that's coming out, it's like you see that on Ricky, and I could see Ricky wearing that off the course, and like it fits his personality.
For sure.
Malbon and Jason Day, like they're just like such a disconnect from what I see. Like I've never seen kind of Jason Day be very like fashionable in that sense, and like
Right.
highlight that on like his social and stuff like that. So it would have been nice to see that some of the fits that he was wearing kind of be more tailored for him.
Got it.
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of forcing it on him.
That's
in a
super
sense.
interesting. Yeah, I never thought about it like
You know what I
that. Yeah, it's a really good point.
Well, okay. So when an athlete goes through a fit with a brand, like a Nike, like a Ricky, like a Puma, whatever, right? They have a lot of say on what they want to wear.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it was up to Jason to decide what he wanted to wear.
Actually, I don't completely agree with that, because I remember what's his name?
Colin?
No, the man, he's like he's like a really good golfer. What's his name? Jay Lindenberg. I think he's under Jay Lindenberg right now.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, he had there was like a Masters drop or something, and it was really out there, and honestly, like a lot of people were hating on it.
Yeah.
And he was wearing it because he had to. I think it was like pink too. He looked like Brett the Hitman Hart or something. And he was getting a lot of hate on it. And then people, like the media, even asked him about it. And he kind of just said like, "Yeah, this is my brand. I have to wear it." Like he didn't really like support it in a way.
Right. You're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
Right.
He's given, like, they're probably given, like, 3 outfits, right? And they could, like, oh, I like these pants, I like that shirt, and I like this, whatever, hat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, actually, though, if you think about it, right, the brand has created a whole collection around the Masters,
Okay.
right? And they need to sell that.
Uh-huh.
So, like, you have to wear it.
No, absolutely. I'm not saying you don't have to.
Yeah.
They do. They definitely do.
Yeah. Even if it's ugly, like, they have to wear it.
Yeah.
They do.
To bring this full circle,
Yeah.
so I think you guys are actually saying the same thing in a way.
Yeah.
Which is that, like, we saw it with Adidas, right? You remember that they had this one collection where there's three different kind of options,
Yeah.
3 different colorways of the shoes, or whatever. To Jay's point, those are a collection. They have to push that out.
Yeah.
Tennis goes through this as well, right? That's why at every tournament you see if there's a Nike player, they're wearing one of three outfits.
Yeah.
And you'll see the same, like you'll see literally finals where 2 women or 2 men are wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
To Jay's point, though, I think it's really interesting. Like, I don't think you're wrong for the majority and for bigger brands. We're talking about fucking Malbon. They're a fashion brand,
Yeah.
right? They're also, this is their first real foray into golf sponsorship, like player sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's like you have a one-to-one opportunity here. So regardless
I see.
of whether Jason had a say in it or not, or like what was imposed on him,
Yeah.
it's almost like that should be a collaboration. To Jay's point earlier, like if this is really a real collaboration, as opposed to we chose this guy, here's your paycheck kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think if you had a bit more of that collaboration piece, because there's only one player.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand.
So sit there,
I get you.
sit there with them and design that outfit. And to Jay's point,
I see.
make it the best freaking outfit for Jason Day. And it should look and feel Malbon because they're designing it. Like the aesthetic should be there.
100%.
But I think that piece, I agree. It looked like it. Honestly, when I saw it, and why I thought they should come with more heat,
Yeah.
was it looked like they took a few pieces that they had,
Yeah.
and they shipped it to him and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is what you're wearing this weekend."
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that. Jason, like as much as we'd love to see Jason or any athlete in the fabric room, I don't think it works like that. They're not there designing the clothes for him. You know what I'm saying? Like these brands are like, they don't want to do that. Like the athletes don't want to put the time in to do that. I wish they did.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. No, that's
Right?
exactly it. So like that's
Yeah.
why I thought Jason Day signing Malbon was just like a little bit of a disconnect because it's
Right.
they're from the beginning. I don't think they're designing for a Jason Day.
Got it.
They're designing for their kind of the LA,
Vibe.
New York kind of streetwear
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
And just bringing out, like, if it was another golfer, I can't think of anyone. Maybe even like Finau likes to rock Jordans all the time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's very like
Yeah.
into that culture.
Right.
Like I think would be able to pull that off better
Yeah.
than Jason Day, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting stances.
So talking about like new brands in that integration,
Yeah.
Tiger with the Sunday Red.
Yeah.
Quick thoughts on that. I know that was big buzz in kind of the golf media space this week or these last couple weeks. So yeah, give me a quick rundown of what you guys think. And actually maybe the impact on Nike as a whole, like what's going on with the whole Nike golf thing.
Like, I get why the partnership stopped. I mean, like, Nike and Tiger Woods, they didn't really release like a good line of shoes, which I think is important for a player, like an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Jordan, LeBron, you know, it's really important. But other than the TW13s and then maybe the 14s, 12s are okay. After that period, like, they just stopped releasing anything that stood out. Like, a lot of it was just like a simple mold.
Right.
Yeah.
So people aren't buying that. There's no hype around it.
No.
And then you have the apparel, which is just like slapping the TW on a Nike polo. I mean, yeah, like some people buy it for the course, but that's about it. It's not like a lifestyle.
Is that the logo? The TW?
TW?
Oh.
No, that was his. Well, that's his original logo.
Oh,
which
I see.
I'm pretty sure Nike still has the rights to that,
Yeah.
which is why this whole new logo.
I see.
About.
Which I don't like.
Yeah.
To me it looks cheesy. To me, like, it looks like a bunch of squiggled lines. You know what I mean? Like, I just it doesn't fit Tiger. And maybe I'm just used to having Tiger, this like premium luxury brand, and then I'm seeing this. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
I keep reminding myself, like, there's certain elements of it, like the shape of it remind me a lot of the Puma logo
Yeah.
at first glance. But then right away I saw Arc'teryx, I saw Lacoste. Like, Lacoste really stood out to me, just like the more animated style logo.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt that maybe it'll age well over time.
Yeah.
also, you never know in different usages. What I'm really curious about is, and we've been going through some of the trademarking process ourselves.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at the new logos that they included as part of the trademark filings, there's some other logos that are also not that great, that I don't think anybody was really talking about.
Yeah.
That they had filed, and so I'm kind of curious what they're doing with the overall brand.
Right.
Yeah, I thought, I think it's like one of those ones, like, who knows? If the clothing is amazing, if the designs are amazing, whatever he's doing with it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the placement of that logo is used well, who knows?
Right. I'm surprised he doesn't have like a lifetime deal with Nike. He's one of the biggest influential golf athletes in the world. Like you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Kevin Durant. I think you even look at Rory. Right? I don't think Rory has a lifetime deal, but I know MJ and KD do.
Does KD have one?
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't know if Katie has a
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But I was
interesting.
just surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Jordan. I mean, Jordan built Nike essentially.
yeah.
100%.
Probably LeBron might have one, I would assume.
Yeah.
As well. Yes.
But it's just like a different market. Like people I think buying basketball shoes is such a. I wonder what the numbers are, but obviously it's way bigger than buying golf shoes.
100%.
Like you'll buy basketball shoes every couple of months, where golf maybe 2 years or something.
I totally agree with that.
Well, there are a lot of golf sneakerheads out there.
Yeah, that doesn't relate to us, I don't think.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it doesn't relate to us. But
we have 12 pairs of golf shoes at the front right now.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean that's just. I feel like Nike could have done more with Tiger's footwear that would have just helped sales, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just real quick, they've had a somewhat history of doing this. Roger Federer went through the exact same thing. There's he ended up signing a 10-year, $300 million deal with Uniqlo.
Yeah.
And that was following the end of his contract with Nike, and it was very similar. He was kind of at the tail end of his career, heading into retirement. He played his last few tournaments in Uniqlo, which nobody would have ever envisioned that, right?
Right.
He was fortunate he was able to negotiate, or maybe he had preset that he kept the RF logo, which was pretty critical to his personal IP.
Yeah.
The fact that he was the GOAT, and they dropped him like that.
Yeah.
And so I think they actually have a history of this, is that, I think Jay nailed it. It's like the economies of scale. Basketball shoes, you can sell globally, and there's so much demand for it.
Right.
And golf, relatively, for the buying cycle and just the amount of golfers compared to basketball fans, because you don't need to be a player to buy a pair of Jordans.
Right.
Right. Whereas golf shoes, you need to be a golfer to rock golf shoes.
Yeah. So
it's such a narrow market.
Yeah.
And tennis, similarly, there's not a big market of tennis fans that are buying Roger Federer specific clothing. But I see that as they have a history of this, and it almost becomes easier just to drop them.
Yeah.
And then refocus all of your marketing efforts, which is all about, towards active players that maybe have a bit, in terms of how they're valuing it, more potential.
Yeah.
And that's it. They cut it, and I'm now it's Tiger's turn to find that next Uniqlo. Right. Where does he sign the next 10-year deal or his next 20-year deal? Kind of as he goes into retirement.
Yeah.
And I do think his son will end up playing a factor into all this too, because whatever he develops next is going to be anchored by Charlie, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It becomes a bit of a legacy project.
Totally. Well, that was a fantastic conversation.
Yeah.
This is going to be maybe a two-parter, right? Unfortunately, our guy Aash is leaving tomorrow. He is a family man.
After the golf.
After the golf. What time's your flight?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yeah, so
we got some time. But this was awesome, guys. I thought this was a good conversation. I think we're going to pick it back up maybe when we get back home for the second part of this pod. But, I think, do you guys have anything else you want to say?
I think we should think about, this is more, could be offline, but
for us,
we should start giving stuff away on these pods.
Yeah.
Let's think about things we could just give to people, because honestly, that's kind of how Golfheadz grew too. It's just
giveaways.
People appreciate products and
giving back to the community too,
giving back
right?
to the community. So
Also,
Yeah, so
oh, go ahead.
don't forget to check out part 2. We're doing a big giveaway with Golfheadz, Pace of Play. It's going to be really amazing. Keep an eye out.
Maybe.
Maybe. You got to share this with everyone.
Yeah. Tag all your friends.
Yeah. And you have a chance to win.
Yeah.
No.